From County College of Morris, this is CCM All Access.
Hello and welcome to CCM All Access, the show that brings you news and information from the County College of Morris, students on campus, members of the community, and people doing good things. I'm Dante Sinatra, and joining us today is Leann Benny, who is the president of CCM Student Government. Welcome.
Hi, Dante.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's pretty cold outside.
Yes, it is very cold.
We're already almost into April, so this is...
That's true. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully it warms up soon.
I know. I like the sun, though. I very much prefer the sun than no sun.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I do, too.
So
You're the president of the student government.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
So what major are you and what year are you in?
Okay. So my major is liberal arts, and I'm in my second year. I'm actually graduating in May, so this is my last year, my last few months. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Right.
same here. I'm also.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously this is your second year. You've seen how COVID ran through all that.
Yeah.
How was your experience as a student with COVID?
You know, it's crazy when I look back at my time at CCM. My first year, I was completely online, similar to a lot of my other students and the peers around me. But I remember when I got inaugurated into my position as president, they had a transition meeting in May of last year to formally appoint me. And it was my first time ever on campus, and I was lost. I was lost. Like that just, you know, to give you a little perspective, because I never was on campus. I never had a reason to be on campus. All my classes were online. Things were so different having classes on Zoom, but it was a very amazing experience, I'd say. You know, I learned more to be efficient as a student, but also to really go out and research my resources, use my resources. That's how I got involved with SGA. You know, I did some research, and I, you know, sent an email to Dawn, who's the advisor of our club, and, you know, the rest is history. So,
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Yeah, obviously students on campus were had a lot of struggle with it, and I can see how tough it was on you. And being appointed as president during that time, so it was kind of hectic. You were kind of in a hectic spot at that point, because there was there's a lot of uncertainty what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. You know, when I first started my term, we were not fully back in person, and it was what I like to say the pivot, right? So now we're fully back in person. But at the time, you know, when I started my term last semester, I was thinking, how can I engage with our students? How can I, you know, still keep SGA alive, get people to join our club, but also, you know, want to be a part of CCM and what they have to offer on our level. It was difficult. Similar to every single club, nobody was left out. Everybody, you know, was affected by COVID and by being online to some degree. It was just the nature of the beast, I think. So when we talk about, you know, what we had to do, SJ specifically last semester, me and my e-board, you know, we didn't even have a full e-board. We were only just working with just myself, the president, my vice president, Peter Belufi-Fry, and, you know, our treasurer, Cameron Marnes. And there was just three of us taking on multiple responsibilities. We were doing, you know, multiple different roles to just keep afloat. But we persevered through that all, and I think also we learned so much about ourselves and our club and what we are capable of. We were able to still do amazing events, do amazing initiatives, and we got stuff done. We persevered and we pivoted. I think similar to what a lot of other clubs can relate to, a lot of other students can even relate to, is this pivot. We had to change our styles from what we're used to and adapt. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine just three people working
I know.
working on the whole student government.
Exactly. It was a lot, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't. It taught me so much. It, really gave me so many valuable lessons that, I have now taken in going into this semester. I've elevated. I think SGA has completely elevated. I think we needed all of that last semester, where now I would like to say we are like a well-oiled machine. We've got a full e-board, and we are getting things done. We are so excited for what we have done, but also what we have now planned for this semester. We have so many great events, so many great initiatives that we are working on. And I'm just excited. Wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for all the things that we had to push through last semester. But it taught us a lot about ourselves, and it helped SGA for sure reach a new level.
Yeah, how connected are you with a lot of those students?
Yeah, so we are I would say we're very well connected. We have our social media, we have our different committees that allow students to have their voices be heard. So we have that, and then we also have just conversing with students. I'm a student at the end of the day, right? So in all my classes, I know some of my peers, they know me because I know last semester I would do a shameless plug at the end of every class, like, hey guys, be a part of SGA. It's, great for you. You get to meet new people, but also like, hey, this is what we're doing too. Join this event, So it allowed me to also, in some ways, it was a great icebreaker to connect with students. And I think a lot of students, you kind of forget that you are out of college and you're, online. You forget that there are clubs, and because you're a county college student, that does not mean that you should not get involved. That does not mean that we don't have just as much to offer as, let's say, our four-year institutions and universities. We are number one as a community college in the state for a reason, and it's no shame to our game, but I like to say that CCM has so much to offer our students and so many ways to connect. It's just about what you like as a student, whatever you need, they really got it. So yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned about all the icebreakers, all the programs. Let's talk about a few of those programs. What have you accomplished, or what are you going to accomplish with these programs?
So we have worked on a lot of different things. If you've seen us on social media, we have a lot of different events coming up. So one of the few things that we have done last semester, we had our COVID initiative. Where our COVID initiative, obviously in the name, we are dealing with COVID. We had an event where we partnered up with various departments and other organizations to give students an event where you can ask questions and be informed about vaccines, what are the different variants? There's so many questions about COVID, so much information. So our plan with this initiative, we wanted our students to be informed and to be aware of, what COVID is, and what to really prepare for. With this initiative, we also rolled out our mask survey. I know a lot of our students, they're aware and they have taken the survey, which is why, we have our new mask policy in full effect now, and that is due to the large success of SGA's mask survey. We partnered up with administration to formulate the survey to ask students questions about what they see, in terms of how they envision campus, whether it's to be mask or not mask. And obviously the large majority, they would like to be walking around campus without a mask. So we were able to bring those findings to administration, and now we have seen the full fruition of that because we see a new mask policy, and that was due to SGA. So we did that as well, and then we also, work with various other organizations. So like we have our Hope Hub initiative where we give back to our community. We're running a clothing drive right now with that initiative. So, if you have clothes that are not being used, sweatshirts, sweatpants, we've got boxes set up around campus. Students can donate to that. That's a great way for us to give back to our community, and our way of, wanting to help our students and our community as a whole. We also got our lupus walk. We have that coming up next month, April 10th. And we will be working with Business Society and the New Jersey organization of Lupus to have this walk that's going to be here on campus to help raise funds and donations on lupus disease. So, we've got a lot of different stuff going on, and we work on a lot of different events. And then we've got like fun stuff. So we've got like our movie night under the stars that we've got happening in May, where students, you can come out to CCM, right in front of the LRC, sit on the lawn. We're gonna have a movie displayed, just a nice way to kick back, relax, start off summer, but also cap off the semester. And that's one of the things that we do too. And then we've also got our Easter egg hunt that, we're partnering up with another organization. So we've got a lot going on.
You got a lot of connections.
A lot of connections, a lot of events, a lot of initiatives. And then we also are a huge portion of promoting change, right? SGA, we're about action too.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we have our Achieve the Dream and our Companion Dialogue initiatives. Both these initiatives are specifically geared and, they're for helping our students of color on campus. We helped our Black Student Union, for the longest time they were inactive due to COVID. We've got them, back up and running. We've helped to set up, their next events and just help them, get on their feet, if that makes sense. And we are so happy to announce that we have partnered up with administration for our Companion Dialogue to continue this talk about race, diversity, inclusivity in not just CCM, but Morris County. So we've got a lot of different amazing things going on for SGA.
It's great to hear. I would love to talk a lot about all those programs, but we're going to take a little break.
Yeah.
And now we're going to take a break. Please stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
I'm Andrea Lucia, a graduate of County College of Morris. At CCM, I gained a high-quality education, was involved with clubs on campus, and performed university research in tissue engineering. My CCM education prepared me for ongoing success. Today, I am at Cornell University, studying engineering and performing research in cardiac tissue engineering. The professors and staff at CCM helped me to start right and finish strong.
And we're back on CCM All Access. I'm Dante Sinatra, and we're here with Student Government President Leann Benny. So, where we left off, I want to talk more about those programs that you're talking about, the walk.
Yeah.
And I want, what is your part in that?
Okay. So we've got, like you said, a lot of different events and initiatives, one of them being our Lupus Walk. We've partnered up, like I said, with the Business Society, and it's for a great cause, a great organization, the Lupus Chapter of New Jersey. And it's a great way for students to, get involved, but also have fun, and for a great cause, so all the donations that are raised for this particular event, it goes directly to the Lupus organization. There's no minimum for a donation. If you want to be part of the event and you want to walk and participate, you just got to do a donation. There's no minimum. It's happening April 10th. Registration starts at 9 a.m. and it'll be starting at 10 a.m. So that's just one of the events that we're doing. We're also working on, our Achieve the Dream and Companion Dialogue initiatives, where that specifically is targeted for our students of color. For the Achieve the Dream, that is for our African American students on campus. The BSU was inactive for a long time due to COVID, similar to a lot of the clubs.
Yeah.
But this initiative, we wanted to specifically help get the BSU up and running and get that back on being active to give our students of color a place, and a place where they can talk and, feel, whatever, a safe space to conversate. The BSU is a huge, key component of CCM, just like our other minority organizations. So we've got the United Latino Organization and the MSA, the Mexican Student Organization Association. These are great clubs that need to be a part of CCM, that are important part of CCM, and students need to be involved with that, and they need to know that there is a place for them as well. they are part of CCM, and there's a place for them at the table, as well as, besides SGA. And, we are also working to do fun stuff. So we've got our Movie Night Under the Stars, like I said. We've got our Easter egg hunt, so students, Easter egg hunt is happening. If you see an egg around campus, there could be money or there could be candy. So look out for those eggs.
Yeah, be sure to find those.
Find those eggs, yes.
Yeah,
You can get a gift card. Gift card for, a nice meal or Wawa or whatever you want to do. We've got it, and those eggs. So keep an eye out. Shameless plug, but.
So I'll keep that in mind.
Yes, keep that in mind. But yeah, and then we also we care so much about our students, mental health is no joke.
Yeah.
I know every student can relate to it. It's something that is just inevitable for everybody, I think. So we have taken an initiative to get mental health certification available. So we just finished our mental health certification for students. It was a 2-week course in which students can, get certified to know the signs of, if your peer is struggling with mental health. So many times we may see or know somebody, but we don't know how to help as a student. If I see a classmate, and this certification program, it really gave an opening and it helped me. I was a part of it, and I learned so much about how I can help my fellow classmate and, what I can do to also give them the resources where they can go. So that's another thing that we did. We did this mental health certification, and a lot of students were a part of that. It was a great turnout, and it's going to be good for just CCM students in general now going forward.
Yeah, I know many people that suffer through mental health, so that's really good. That's really great that you're making the move to really outline the issue between.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that a little more. So obviously, how many people get involved with, let's just say, this mental health, the walk? How many students do you really get around with these programs?
With these programs. So SGA, we've got our committees. So we've got our e-board, which is, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and then we go into Senate Pro Temp and ICC chair. But that's the one component. And then we've got our Senate, and our Senate is comprised of all our senators. So the senators, they all serve on the various committees on CCM. So we've got Judicial Committee, Diversity, Academic Standards, Student Affairs, Curriculum, Safety, and Accessibility. You got 7 committees that all are part of CCM, and the senators, they are the student voice on these committees.
Oh, wow.
So, anything that relates to the student body, there is a student representative on these committees. Right now, a lot of these committees are open, and we do need students to fill these committees. These committees are for the students, and it's not just for SGA. So this is a great way for students to get involved if they want to see something change in terms of if it's something with admissions, or if it's something that has to do with curriculum, something with their major, a suggestion, anything. Or how to diversify CCM more, or how to, address a problem that, is common throughout, on campus for every student to see. You got Student Affairs for that. So these are the committees that are, there to help our students be a voice, and they help promote change and lead the change in many ways, these senators.
Yeah, it's always great to have different voices throughout the campus.
Yeah.
And obviously, you have many different students coming into the program.
Exactly.
What can people do to help your program, or what can they do?
I would say the best thing you can do is join. Student government is for the students, and I say that confidently and I say that proudly. I think, like I said, a lot of students, they forget that this is their school.
Yeah.
Administration, professors, they don't run the school, or, this is ran, for the students. So students, this is your, college just as much as it's my college. The change that I want to see is not for myself. It's something that me and SGA work that, will help the student body unilaterally. And that's why I say the best thing you can do is join. Your voice is important as a student. There are many ways to get involved with SGA. It's not so cookie cutter. You don't have to be a political science major. You don't have to just only be passionate about politics. It goes beyond that. You know, we do great stuff, great events, different initiatives, and we serve different committees to help our student body. So join, please.
Please join. Honestly, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, we're running elections soon, so if you want to, you know, get involved with being on the e-board, whether it's president, vice president, treasurer, all these amazing positions are opening up. Deadline to apply is April 15th. Get your applications in, and it'll be the best decision that I will say you will make. I can say that joining SGA has been the best decision and my most proudest moment of my CCM career. I will say that for myself.
Wow, it's great to hear.
Yeah.
But talking about that position, it's kind of hard to balance between being a student and the president. It's a lot of work on your half. So how do you manage that?
That's a good question, Date. Time management is the name of the game. That is what I've realized. It's time management. It's a combination of things, really. Time management being one of them, but it's also, you need to make sure that you're disciplined. You know, I had to learn that early on, you know, whether it's even going beyond SGA, like making sure I am regimented and, you know, going to the gym as much as I do. It's part of having a schedule. When you have these small things, you know, in the works and you're doing that, it helps with a long-lasting result. So time management, discipline, you know, making sure that your communication skills are also on point. Like, I have realized for myself, I've learned that, you know, I had to make sure that my communication skills were A1, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Not only am I the president of SGA, but I had to also converse and talk to, you know, my different peers on SGA, the different members on SGA, but also work with different people on administration and other club levels to get stuff done. And you also, I realize, is that time is everything, you know? So that's also how I had to manage, you know, juggling both, is that everything is about time management, time, discipline, combination of things. But, you know, if you have the will and you have the motivation and you've got the right people around you, that's a recipe for success. And that is something that I have learned, and it's also the reason why I'm able to balance both my school life and SGA. And for me personally, I've also realized that it keeps me in check for both things. Like SGA and my being a student, they share similarities, which is you can't be procrastinating. You have to be on the ball. You have to get your work done. You know, these are things that both positions, you know, both organizations, both things made me realize about myself. So, yeah.
It's a lot of work, and I'm trying to I personally keep myself in a schedule. I always try. I always try to stay busy. So it's like, you have a lot of these things. You have to go to the gym. You have class soon right after that, and it's great. And time management is like the key.
It is
for a lot of students. I think you can agree with that.
It keeps things going, right? You know. So.
That's great. One thing I do want to talk about is more of the mental health program. So obviously, a lot of students here have issues with mental health. So obviously I know a few people that. So what are you going to achieve in the mental health program, or what do you have to offer?
It's a great question. So with our mental health certification that we just did, once again, it was just a great way for students and student leaders to help their peers and be more aware. Like, what more can we do? And there's a lot more that we can do. You know, I think a lot of students, and me personally being a student leader, you kind of forget that you have so many resources with, you know, to help your classmate if they are struggling. And, you know, if you know it, you can help them, you know? So our mental health and wellness department, they are amazing. They have so many different resources, and they are equipped to help our students. And that's what we want to do. We want to help our students. We want to make sure that they are able to be the best that they are mentally, because that's the only way you can succeed, right? If your mind is not right and you're not feeling the best mentally, you cannot do anything else. I know mental health was a huge thing during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It broke so many people, and it brought a lot of things to light about mental health. And I think a lot of people realize that it's hard. It is hard. You're not going to be at 100 every day, and we have to also be able to help those people. Everybody is suffering to some degree, and it's something that everybody can relate to too. Mental health is no joke. It's something that every student can relate to, I strongly believe.
That's great. I'm really glad for all the stuff you've been doing, SGA, and I really do enjoy you being on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Because it's great to have you, and just to really learn what student government is really about.
Yeah.
So this has been another edition of CCM All Access. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.